All right, what's up everybody? This is Vollarti and I'm back with another tutorial. And this tutorial is how to make your 808 sound professional. So right now I got this melody up right here and I'm putting these 808s on it. So the first thing you want to do is when you drag an 808 into the channel rack, make sure you go into the sound development thing right here. Go to this envelope thing right here and you'll see this envelope with delay, attack, hold, decay, sustain, and release. Turn down the attack, turn up the hold, turn down the decay, turn down the sustain, and turn down the release. So it looks like that. That way when you make a note, it controls when the note stops. Also make sure when you go to the sound in the channel rack, right click it and press cut itself. That way when a note is playing and then another note plays, the 808 won't overlap and make this like, you know what I'm saying? That really, it doesn't sound good for the listener. So now I press cut itself and now we can start putting in some notes. All right, so I just got some simple 808 patterns in there, and then I'm just gonna put them down a few octaves. Now, there's one thing that you could do. Now you could go here and, I'm pressing command and I'm just scrolling over. This is for a Mac, by the way. I think it's control for a PC. And you could just hold down the option button and scroll down with your mouse. Make sure you're on the piano roll, not in the grid down here. All right, so you press option and then scroll down with your mouse and that brings up the velocity if you saw that down here. This stuff is going now up to the full volume. See how much louder it is now? So yeah, that's cool. All right, so what I do is now I go back to the sound thing. So I want to just click this wrench thing right here. And this brings up the level adjustment, the preamp, and there's a volume thing right here. And this is my go-to volume enhancer when I want to make the 808 sound a lot better. But before I do that, I actually want to put a soft clipper on the 808. Now, people may be like, well, why do you want to do that? Well, that way, when you turn up the preamp right here, it may go past 0. So if you put a soft clipper, it won't clip when you raise the preamp right here. And then you can make the 808 sound as loud as you want. And that's how you get that professional billboard producer sound. All right, so I got the soft clipper on there, so let's turn it up. See what I'm saying? Now that already sounds awesome. That sounds great, right? And the soft clipper's on there to make sure. Now there's another one here. If you go here to pre-computed effects, and this is just on the first one out of these three up here, and you go to, and you click this little icon here, the effects target, and you could just turn up the boost. If you turn up the boost, you see what I'm saying? You can do that as well. Now, you got your 808 hitting hard, but now you want to add some life to the 808. You want to make it sound unique, right? So now, there's some different things we can do. Now, the first one I want to do is add some saturation. So I'm going to go here, and this is the plugin I like to go to when I want to add some saturation and to add more oomph, make the low and the mid tone frequencies in the 808 stand out more. And this is a very important tool. I recommend getting this plugin or getting a plugin that deals with saturation, because when people don't have speakers or headphones and they just have an iPhone pretty much, when you turn up the mid frequencies, they'll be able to hear the 808 more with their iPhone without them listening to headphones. And that's why it's important to boost the mid frequencies, and you can boost the low. So this was the mid frequency, I brought it up, and then I brought the bass, the low frequency up. So now it just makes it sound better, and you'll be able to hear it on your iPhone, you'll be able to hear those low notes because I boosted up the low and the mid lows a lot more now because I put the saturation on. So this is without the saturation. This is with the saturation. You hear that? That's without, and then that's with. I can hear the low frequencies and the mid frequencies a lot better. They're coming out, they're more present. Very useful tool. We can also add some fruity distortion on here, fruity fastest. And with fruity fastest, it adds some distortion to it. Now, if the mix is all the way down, this button right here, it'll sound distorted. So if we just turn that up, it'll sound less distorted. Right, and if we turn the post up, it'll sound more low. And turning the post all the way down turns the volume up. There's this other great plugin if you want to spend. It's not that much money. It's from Waves, but it's a really good plugin. It's more advanced with the distortion. It's called Scheps 73. Really good. And then you could just turn up the preamp. See? And the last thing that's very important is that you want to make sure that your 808 and your kicks, the low frequencies, they're in mono. Always make sure they're in mono because they're in the center. You want them, those to be present in the center. It's such a great tool that I learned. It's super important because it gives that beat, that consistent, smooth drive of the bass and the drums. You see what I'm saying? It's sitting in the middle now because I put this on mono. This right here is the stereo separation button. All I did was move it all the way to the right and you get this purple thing here, and now it's in mono. And if you have plugins that say mono for this specific sound, use the mono plugins for those, because for the kicks and the 808s, because they're in mono. All right, guys, so I hope this tutorial helped on how to make your 808 sound professional. Give this video a like, comment down below what you liked and what was new to you, and let me know what tutorial you want to see next. Until then, I'll see you on the next video.